The Arctic Winter Games warm-up show is brought to you by Yukon North of Ordinary magazine.
Hi, and welcome to the Arctic Winter Games warm-up, a show that we hope will create some of the excitement that will help you get warmed up for the 22nd Arctic Winter Games.
The 2012 opening ceremonies for the Arctic Winter Games are going to be held in Whitehorse on March 4th.
2,000 athletes, coaches, and team officials from 9 circumpolar delegations representing 20 sports will parade into Takini Arena.
2012 marks the 6th time that Whitehorse has hosted the Games since its inception.
And the host society, the numerous volunteers, and the city are poised to present another in a long history of exciting games.
We're ready, so let's get you warmed up for the 2012 Arctic Winter Games and show you how you can get involved.
And play your part. In the first episode of the show, we'll visit the Dene Games Trials, the event in which Team Yukon members were selected who will participate in Dene Games this coming March.
And we'll stop by for a chat with Her Worship Bev Buckway, the Mayor of Whitehorse, to see how she and the city are preparing for the Winter Games.
We visited Mount Sima to see what's new at the venue hosting the alpine skiing and snowboarding events.
And we spoke with volunteers to see how and why they are playing their part in this awesome event.
So stick around, lots is coming your way on the Arctic Winter Games warm-up show, brought to you by Yukon North of Ordinary magazine. Along with many modern sports, the Arctic Winter Games are unique by including many traditional sports from the indigenous people from across the north. Arctic sports are comprised of traditional Inuit games, while the Dene Games are made up of the sports and pastimes that the Dene people have been participating in for centuries. We visited the Team Yukon Dene Games trials to learn more about the event and get a preview of the athletes who are going to be representing Team Yukon in the event at the upcoming games.
My name is Shirley Dawson. I'm organizing the trials on behalf of the Yukon Aboriginal Sports Circle. I am very pleased with the turnout today. Roughly about 50 people in attendance, so that's the parents. And overall the athletes, I would say somewhere around 30, right across 4 different divisions. 8 who have come from the community of Oak Row. They had to fly in. We had a van full of youth from Haines Junction. We also have some youth who come right over from Quanlin-Dunn. Normally every year, I believe we have the Yukon Aboriginal Sports Circles runs championships, and I believe that's in February. But in the years that we have Arctic Winter Games, they don't do the championships, so it's in every other year, and that's a time when they bring people in from the community, athletes from the community, and they come compete in friendly competition like this. I'm right in the forefront of the Dene Games. I'm establishing the venue through the Quanlin-Dunn Cultural Centre. Very exciting for myself, being that I'm also a Quanlin-Dunn member. So for me, this is having the Dene Games in the Cultural Centre is huge for me. This is something that I've looked on for the last, I think, maybe 6 to 8 years. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on this event and good luck with the Arctic Winter Games.
Thank you.
My name is John Fox. I'm from here in Whitehorse. I do demonstrations in the communities for youth that want to be involved with Dene Games. So I've been doing it for about 12, 15 years now.
Don't grip the stick without the official telling you to.
When the official asks is ready, and you get your hands ready in a motion like this, so that he or she can put the stick in between, like that, and then he or she will say grip, and you try to grip strategically. You only want to grab the stick once, because if you have to re-grip, your hand's all greasy with extra grease, because if they re-grip, I'm going to have to put more grease on it. You grip as close to the red line as possible so that you can see it.
There's 3 individual events: finger pole, stick pole, and snow snake. There's pole push. It's a team event with 4 people on each side. Other team event is hand games. There's 5 events for the whole Dene Games. All these Dene Games represent things that our ancestors did. Team Yukon's going to do good for Dene Games this year. We have a pretty strong team. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm really happy. The last time we had a big thing like this was Canada Games, and that was pretty crazy here in Whitehorse. So having all the people from around North America and the world and stuff coming to Whitehorse is pretty exciting. I'm excited.
Good grip. Ready? Pull.
Did you know?
The idea for the Arctic Winter Games began with the Northwest Territories Commissioner Stuart Hodgson and Northwest Territories Member of Parliament Bud Orange while attending the inaugural Canada Winter Games in 1967. The first Arctic Winter Games took place in Yellowknife in 1970 with athlete delegations from the Yukon, Alaska, and the Northwest Territories, which at that time encompassed the area that includes Nunavut today. The Games had 2 objectives. First, to provide an international competition for Northern athletes to compete against athletes of similar background and ability, and second, to strengthen understanding and friendship among people of Northern areas both through sport and cultural activities. 700 athletes and coaches from 10 sports paraded down Franklin Avenue in Yellowknife on March 9, 1970, and were welcomed by Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, who officially opened the inaugural Arctic Winter Games. The athletes were awarded medals shaped as ulus, a uniquely shaped traditional Inuit knife blade, a tradition that continues today. Arctic sports were only a cultural demonstration event in 1970 and weren't added as an official medal sport until 4 years later at the Games in Anchorage, Alaska.
Apart from being the mayor of Whitehorse, Bev Buckway is also a Games volunteer, and she's a former athlete who participated in the first Arctic Winter Games. We went to her Whitehorse office to learn more.
The Arctic Winter Games is such an exciting thing to be hosting in our capital city. I'm delighted to talk about it anytime.
Not many people might know this, but you were an athlete in the original games in 1970 in Yellowknife.
That's absolutely right. Our high school volleyball team ventured over to Yellowknife and competed there. In those days we didn't travel as much as the kids do today, but the fact that we got to actually travel and go to Yellowknife was a huge event for us, and just to be part of this it was a historic event obviously now, but to just be one of those people marching in the crowd and with the opening ceremonies, it is just such a feeling of pride that you're there representing the Yukon. Wow.
What excites you from the mayor's desk about the city and welcoming people?
Right. You know, the people are what make any event what it is. If you didn't have the people and the connections, it would be very boring. And people are always quite overwhelmed with what we have here. We're well positioned to host in 2012. People are going to love it when they come here, and our hospitality, of course, will be wonderful, and they're just going to be amazed at our facilities.
You know, if we had any volunteer fence sitters out there, people that were thinking about...
Get off the fence. We don't want you on the fence. We want you signed up. I have been volunteering already. I'm on the host society for the planning, and then I signed up as a volunteer aside from that, and I hope to be one of the people that's driving some of our folks around town. When you fence sit, you don't experience the games the way you can as if you're a volunteer, and it's an amazing thing to be there and see what you're doing to help these young people, these athletes and these performers, and to help them show their best and give them an experience they will never forget.
You know, what's your own thoughts about just what the event means to the North and the kids of the North and the athletes of the Northern region? Yeah.
Well, it's a chance for our athletes to really showcase, and our performers too, to showcase what their abilities are, and they're done on a peer-to-peer level. When you look back and say, I did that as a young person, and how that helped shape your life, because you got an opportunity that only a handful of people had. When you look at the population of the country, and even now we're expecting 2,000 athletes, performers, and coaches and whatnot. That's only 2,000 people, and we're talking 9 regions. So you're part of a very small group of people that are going to share this experience with all the volunteers. So it's, in that aspect, it's pretty amazing. It's unique, you know? It's wonderful.
Did you know? Whitehorse has hosted the Arctic Winter Games 5 times previously, beginning with the second Arctic Winter Games in 1972. Alpine skiing made its debut at the 1972 Games, with races being held at Heckle Hill in Whitehorse. Hockey legend Jean Béliveau made the trip to Whitehorse to watch the 1972 Arctic Winter Games hockey tournament. In 1980, the opening ceremonies were held on the deck of the SS Klondike, led by the girls of the Carmacks Red Star Marching Band. Stan McGowan Arena was a welcome new facility to accompany Jim Light Arena as a venue for hockey and figure skating events. In 1986, a small contingent from northern Alberta made an appearance for the first time, together with a contingent from northern Quebec. Silhouette shooting and the triathlon were added to the Games roster, and the opening ceremonies were held for the first time in Takini Arena. In 1992, Paddy the Paddle Wheeler was the mascot who welcomed the new contingents of Greenland and the Soviet Union, who both sent small delegations of athletes, coaches, and cultural performers to the Arctic Winter Games as official participants for the first time. In 2000, Mount Sima debuted as a Whitehorse venue for alpine skiing and the new sport of snowboarding, in which Yukon snowboard athletes won 4 gold and 12 medals in total. Governor General Adrian Clarkson welcomed the delegation from the new territory of Nunavut, along with individual delegations from the Siberian provinces of Magadan and Chukotka.
Mount Sima hosted the alpine skiing, freestyle skiing, and snowboarding events at the 2007 Canada Winter Games, but never has it been more ready than it is for the 2012 Arctic Winter Games. We paid them a visit to find out more. I'm here with Parker Hickey, the general manager of Mount Sima, and we're riding the brand new chairlift. Tell us about that story and how it's been installed over the past months.
Well, we decided last winter that the old chairlift was just not doing it for us, and we needed something new and reliable. So in May we decided to order this chair, and it was delivered right in time for our opening, December 15th.
One of the many new improvements to Mount Sima in preparation for the Arctic Winter Games.
Yeah, that's right. It's a brand new chairlift, and it also has a loading carpet, which makes it really easy for everyone to get on the chairlift. And we've done quite a bit of groundwork getting ready too, and we have an improved snowmaking system. So yeah, we're ready. We've been planning with the Arctic Winter Games for a number of months now, and things are taking shape. We've still got a couple of months to go to fine-tune things, but I would say we're ready.
Great. We're at the top of the half pipe here at Mount Sima. I'm talking with Sam Otley, outside operations manager here at the Hill. So how are the preparations going for the half pipe for the Arctic Winter Games?
Well, they're going really well. Crews have started now with Snowcat to start cutting and shaping it. It's about a 4-day in total process. We had to stop here because of the warm weather. We don't want to mess up the snow. So as soon as this weather gets a little cooler, then we're going to start pushing the snow some more, and then throw on our Zog and start cutting it and shaping it to exactly what we need. One of my CAT operators that's shaping this right now, he was also here in the summer, and him and I went up here with excavation equipment and a dozer and reshaped the entire pipe. We dropped it a little bit by a few feet, put the dirt in the middle, and we kept the same length, but we've made it a little bit shorter so that it's more manageable that way for us. Yeah, and then we also worked on the jump section for the slope style also in the touring park. I love having these events here. I was here for the Canada Games as well and the patrol, and it's a great fun time, and I've been at the Arctic Winter Games twice as well, and it's a great time. It's awesome, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be great.
Arctic Winter Games 2012 snowboarding and alpine skiing will be here at Mount Sima. I'm living it, take An event the magnitude of the Arctic Winter Games could not happen without a vast network of volunteers, many of whom have already been working for 2 years to plan the event. 2,500 total volunteers are required to fill 70 different positions over 15 venues for a total of 30,000 volunteer hours to make the event happen. We visited with some volunteers to find out what they're doing to play their part.
Arctic Winter Games is very exciting. It's from March 4th to the 10th, 2012, and we're gonna have over 3,000 athletes here. 2,500 people from the Yukon are going to volunteer for this exciting games. Why would you not want to be a part of that?
Do you have your volunteer position already for the games?
I absolutely do. I'm the Vice President of Admin and Finance.
I'm going to be doing security.
I'm a pre-games planning volunteer. I'm a sponsorship rep at the venue, and during the games, I'm a Team Yukon mission staff person.
I am the committee chair for the visual identity and branding.
I'm the head coach of the ladies basketball team.
Right now I'm volunteering as security.
I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Sales.
We are looking for everything from ticket takers to security to food services personnel. We're even looking for planning volunteers at this point in time. We do ask that volunteers commit to a minimum of 12 hours. That's not very much. Think about it. That's 2 Saturdays out of the games, or 2 days. And you get a slick volunteer jacket, there's a pin, you get a shirt, there's a huge party after, and you definitely want to be there for that.
Registering early, do you also get like a pick of like the better volunteer gigs?
Yes, you do. We assign volunteers with regards to the interests that they pick, so the sooner they sign up, the better chances it is for them to actually get into the roles that they're interested in. As well, we do our orientation through that, so we do ask volunteers that have signed up early to come in earlier to get their orientation done, and we make sure you get the right size jacket, so the sooner you sign up, the better it is for you.
Why should people volunteer for the games?
People should volunteer. It's a good use of your time. It's giving back to the community.
I think it's a once in a long time opportunity.
It's to just be involved, just come out and join the community and just be part of it.
One of the best things is I've made so many new friends. I've made so many friends, not just in the Yukon, people from all over the north.
I think this whole Arctic Winter Games is so good for the young people to meet up with other ones from other territories.
You can help, you know when it starts, it stops. You can make a meaningful contribution to the community, have a bunch of fun, meet some new people. It's just an incredible way to make a difference.
Right now, what we've got is a deadline set actually from the RCMP, and we are asking volunteers to be signed up and through their screening process by February 1st. So if you want a jacket and you want an invite to that volunteer party, get your application in now and get your records check in now so that you can make sure you have a spot.
Volunteers are the lifeblood that will drive the 2012 Arctic Winter Games, and at the moment there are hundreds of volunteer positions to choose from. No matter your skills or your interests, there's a volunteer position that is right for you. Here's how you can volunteer. 1. Go to the website www.awg2012.org and fill out the volunteer application form, or come by the Arctic Winter Games office at 308 Wood Street in Whitehorse. You can select various areas of interest in which you would most like to volunteer. 2. All volunteers are required to have a criminal record check, and the sooner that's complete, the better. Just stop by the Arctic Winter Games office with 2 pieces of ID and fill out the quick application.
It's that easy.
Games time volunteers are asked to perform at least 12 hours of service throughout the week. You'll receive an Arctic Winter Games volunteer jacket and t-shirt, plus access to volunteer exclusive events, including the volunteer lounges throughout the week. Together, we can make these games a huge success for all the participants. All you have to do is play your part.
Did you know?
To commemorate the second Arctic Winter Games held in Whitehorse in March 1972, a mountain climbing expedition set out to climb an unnamed, unclimbed peak over 10,000 feet in height, 150 miles west of Whitehorse near the Lowell Glacier. Veteran Yukon climber Monty Alford led a team of 5 climbers representing Alaska, the Northwest Territories, Arctic Quebec, and the Yukon, who left Whitehorse a few days before the Games' opening ceremonies. The expedition braved minus 30-degree temperatures and high winds to finally reach the summit. A helicopter was required to medevac one of the climbers, Jim Boyd of the Northwest Territories, who suffered 3rd-degree frostbite in the ordeal. All climbers were awarded their own gold ulus and a plaque from the city of Whitehorse. The team decided to name the mountain Mount Ulu after the unique medals awarded at the Arctic Winter Games, and the peak has kept that name ever since.
So thanks for joining us on the show today. There are only a few more weeks to go before the games begin.
And remember to visit www.awg2012.org for all the information on how you can be involved in the upcoming games. Until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Tracy. Thanks again for joining us on the Arctic Winter Games warm-up. And remember to
play your part.
The Arctic Winter Games warm-up show is brought to you by Yukon North of Ordinary magazine.
Oh.